Rawat, to you first. Do you believe that this is a realistic deadline, a nationwide exercise conducted within a month by December 4th? All the enumeration forms are supposed to be collected. Is the EC, in your view, putting unnecessarily workload pressure on these booth level officers?
Actually, if we put it in a comprehensive context of BLO's other duties, family duties, school duties, wherever he's having original employment, their duties, then it will look unrealistic. However, in some states, like in Madhya Pradesh, I'm living in Bhopal, I find that the CEO local and district magistrates locally, they are providing 2 or 3 assisting hands to the BLO and one computer savvy person, so that the work is shared between them, and that is why they are able to make both hands meet.
But shouldn't the deadline be extended? I mean, why have such a short in states like Rajasthan, which are not even going to the elections, to have such crunched deadlines? Surely is not. You want a perfect job. You don't want a quick fix job, surely.
You're right. If they want a perfect job and they don't want BLAs and private people interfering with this sacrosanct work, I think they should constructively think about it.
Okay, you're giving us an important news point. Former CEC is saying that that the deadline should be looked at. Yogendra Yadav, what's your principal objection, given the fact that the Supreme Court itself has said the task of enumeration is the responsibility of the Election Commission? They are not going to intervene in that process. Why is it then that so many opposition parties are questioning the way this SR exercise is being conducted? Is it fear-mongering, or is it, or what really is it?
Rajdeep, number one, no one has disputed Election Commission's power, jurisdiction to prepare electoral rolls. Who else will prepare it? The only thing being questioned is the specific design, asking for enumeration form, asking for notices and such like. What we are discussing today, however, is not that broad thing. We're discussing something very specific. Which is suicide by large number of BLOs. The last figure I read this morning was 25. Now, no political party can invent these figures, Rajdeep. These are real. I mean, some have claimed that in Bengal alone there are 34. That may not be correct. But the figure of 25 is very much a figure not produced by political parties. It's a figure produced by the media, by the national media. Besides that, please remember, for any such one incident of suicide, there must have been many who thought came close, but fortunately stepped back from it. Besides that, you have FIRs being lodged against BLOs. You have BLOs who are resigning, not fortunately committing suicide. So there is some real problem. Now, in a large exercise of this kind, there are accidents, there are tragedies. But is it that we are looking at? To my mind, what we are looking at is a serious design defect.
What is the
And the
design? What is the
defect
design defect? Is it that they are being asked this time to physically verify whether your name or your parents or your grandparents' name is on a 2002 electoral roll, which is almost impossible for many citizens?
Given the level of preparation, which is abysmally low, given the kind of training which leaves a lot to be desired, and given the impossibly short deadline and the nature of work they are required to do, this is setting it up for tragedies of this kind. Now, please remember, what is it that the BLO is required to do, and who is a BLO? BLO is your school teacher. BLO is an Anganwadi worker, a local person, of course. Now, that person is, and a booth typically has about 1,000 to 1,200 persons. So within 1 month, now notice what is it that person is supposed to do. Within 1 month, he or she is supposed to visit every single house, hand over the form, and if the person is not available, visit the house at least thrice. Number two, help every person to locate their names or names of someone from their family. You know, we heard that BLO speaking about the problems of that. In 2002, and remember, Rajdeep, while a man would be asked to find his father or grandfather, the woman would be asked about her parents, which could be located in a different district, which could be located in a different state. A married woman would be asked all these things to do. So the BLO has to help ensure that the voter concerned can track down their relatives who may be not available, all kinds of difficulties. Number three, they have to collect those forms. And not just that, Rajdeep, they have to digitize those forms, which is to say, upload those forms, scan it, and upload it, and perform all this magic within 1 month. You tell me, Rajdeep, if you or I, we are more technologically savvy than most BLOs are, if you and I are given this task, would we be able to do it in the face of all kinds of situations? Please remember, in Chhattisgarh, this is the paddy harvesting season. In Kerala, local elections are happening. I mean, just look at the absurdity of it, right? This is the campaign period for the local body election, panchayat and municipality election. And at the same time, the government officers are going to your house to say, register for voting. And Kerala government is saying, please don't mix it. Please give us time. The election commission wouldn't do it. This is what I call design defect. Unfortunately, they have simply not learned from the Bihar experience. So I'll put the question of unconstitutionality and illegality aside for the moment. Let's assume it's constitutional. Let's assume it's illegal. It's completely legal. But is this how you do it? This happened in Bihar, and everyone thought, all right, they're doing it for the first time. You end up making some mistakes. It's all right, you learn. But what we are witnessing is worse than Bihar. And why is it that we have all these problems? We have these problems because, number one, the BLOs are supposed to receive those forms. And mind you, these are not bulk forms. These are unique forms, each form for a separate person. The BLOs are supposed to receive it. They don't receive it. In so many places, the BLOs are saying, it's 10 days, I've not even received the forms. BLOs are required to have 2 copies of the form so that they can give one and receive back. They don't get
Right.
it. BLOs are supposed to get the mapping exercise done by someone. They don't get it. How are these poor fellows supposed to do it? This is the design defect.
You're saying it's a design defect. Of course, the EC before the Supreme Court yesterday has said that the exercise is moving smoothly. They've even claimed, even in Kerala, most of the enumeration forms have been returned. Rajat Sethi, your comment on this. Do you believe that this deadline itself is unrealistic? I think there's a general acceptance you need the roles to be revised. The manner and the design is where the flaw lies and is creating a sense of foreboding. You're on mute, Rajat.
Sorry. Rajdeep ji, we were just discussing about design defect. There is also some narrative design defect also. Just now the Kerala example was quoted. Let me tell you, the nationwide SIR was announced somewhere around 3rd or 4th of November, as far as I remember. And I just Googled, when was the Kerala local elections announced? It was announced 10th of November. So it is the fault of the Kerala government, not the election commission, that they preemptively announced the electoral roll revision. And therefore, we should, before we drop such examples and anecdotes, we have to be careful around the timelines. That is number one. Number two, I understand that there are at least 2 or 3 BLOs that are typically there in a booth. In certain cases, there is a single BLO, and those BLOs have to go somewhere around 150 to 200 houses on an average. And they are given a month-long exercise, and they need to go 3 times. And if you're not available, your name is automatically struck. And then there are other appeals in which you can go about it. See, when such a revision exercise is happening, it has to be an all-hands-on-deck approach. The local governments, the local state governments will have to free up greater number of people who can then be appointed as supplementary or temporary BLOs in those respective booths, so that the work pressure can be shared. You cannot imagine if the DEO, which is the district election officer, or anybody who can further help ease out the process, is not giving a full support to the BLOs on the ground. Such things will escalate and will become problematic for the BLOs.